Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. Acknowledge him. Yes, what's going on, everybody? It's Sportskeeda Rings and Rambles coming to you on a Thursday afternoon. If you are watching on demand or listening on demand on the podcasting machines, wherever you may be, on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube page, get in the comments below on demand or live with us. Hit the like button. I know it's stupid. It's internet jargon. It's this, it's that. If you're with us on Facebook, on Sportskeeda, on Wrestle Room, all that good stuff, want to hear from you, all right? We're going to be talking about a lot of big things today. Roman Reigns news. We have some very, very significant Roman Reigns news. A major name is returning to WWE, and that return is expected imminently, as been reported by WrestleVotes with the Sportskeeda Wrestling Backstage Pass on Patreon. We'll get into that. We'll get into Saturday night's main event going down this Saturday in Uniondale, New York. And some other big news and notes and your questions. We'll get a lot of your questions on today. Mm-hmm. Nick Harkson over there in Sacramento, California. How you doing, Nick? You good?
I'm doing good. You know,
still rocking the Detroit Lions here. Seems like they're gonna take that NFC North in the NFL, right? Yeah.
You know, I can't speak too soon. I'm a Lions fan. I've seen too much bad happen in my life, but I am keeping.
Well, I'm a Chicago Bears fan. I've seen a lot bad happen this year, so just enjoy your good vibes. Okay, I'm sending. Calm down now.
I'm definitely enjoying it.
Yeah, please. Coming at me with that garbage. A lot of news exclusively on Backstage Pass. WrestleVotes just dropped their show that comes out every Thursday before we're live. So we'll give you kind of some reactions to the news that's broken there. But you get it first, $5. Well worth it. Had a fun listen to that while I was eating some lunchy lunch today, which is a lot of peanuts. Get my proteins.
There you go.
We have a lot to talk to. Roman Reigns is set for a major situation here, and Roman Reigns is set for Netflix, set for WWE's debut on Netflix. He will compete in the ring. This is according to our very own Dr. Chris Featherstone. He's been breaking a lot of news recently. Yes. Dr. Chris has become the Scooparoonie, the doctor of scoops. He gave you he has let me see, the diagnosis is you need some breaking news. That's what you need. And he's giving it to you. Sorry, that was an awful pun. Roman Reigns is set to compete in ring and have his first match of 2025 on the first Monday at Raw of 2025 on January 6th. Major episode for WWE. I believe it's going to be broadcasting from LA, if I'm correct. And this will be their debut on Netflix, a massive show, probably one of the biggest Monday at Raws of all time. John Cena is already confirmed and advertised for that show as well. There is expectations that other major names from WWE will all be participating in that show that debuts with WWE on the global platform of Netflix in almost every territory that Netflix is in. So incredible stuff here. What do you think of that? Who does he have that match with, Nick?
You know, I would say probably a member of the new bloodline. Keep it going, but it could be anybody. Not anybody. It's got to be along the lines of the storyline, but I would say that it's going to be with somebody from the new bloodline, but yeah, this is big news. And honestly, it is Roman Reigns, so it's big, but we're talking about a guy coming to have one match on live TV. Come on, man. I mean, it's big news, but Roman Reigns, compete more, man. Compete more on Raws and stuff. But we knew that Netflix, the first Raw on Netflix was going to be huge, so they had to have a big name compete. And Roman Reigns is that name. But it is kind of crazy that, that's topping the wrestling news that Roman Reigns is going to compete on Raw. But still, big news. Good for the first Raw on Netflix. And I'm assuming we're going to get some bigger matches as well announced here soon.
Yeah, we have some big matches this weekend with Saturday's main event on NBC. So WWE spinning all the plates here. But we got a wonderful, very supportive super chat. You guys can get on the screen right away. We'll put anybody on screen. We'll do questions and stuff like that at the end. But obviously, if you just want to leap ahead and say, no, I don't have the attention span to wait until the end of the show, give us a super chat, support the channel, and we'll jump right ahead here. We were going to talk about this, but you threw our whole programming off here, Kalp. Kalp Tripathi says, what impact has Charlotte Flair had on the evolution of women's wrestling in WWE, and how does her legacy compare it to her father, Ric Flair. Nick, you want to take that first?
Well, I think Charlotte Flair has had a tremendous impact on the women's wrestling division. One of the four horsewomen, one of the originals, who not one of the originals, but she, trailblazed that women's division, really put it on the map and made it what it is today. And I would say she's, Ric Flair's legacy is almost untouchable, but for the women's division, she's doing, she's right up there. She's very comparable. And I think when it's all said and done, we're going to look at her, and maybe not the same light, because Ric Flair's a legend just outside of wrestling too. He's done, he's just a public figure. Everybody knows Ric Flair. A lot of people know Charlotte Flair too, but it's so famous. Ric Flair's the man. But when everything's said and done, we're going to look back on Charlotte Flair and really be grateful for what she's done in WWE. And yeah, I think she's going to make a huge impact, have that legacy that her father had on the women's division, though.
I'm going to agree with that, but I would kind of add and elaborate on that and say there is it's very, very hard to come into something and have the nepotism tag on you now. It used to be something specifically in wrestling that we love. We love the idea of the name continuing, like everyone loves that. There's a lot of hypocrisy, I think, in wrestling fandom about it. We love the Samoan wrestling dynasty being around and having this wonderful legacy, which is so spread out over generations, talking like almost 80, 90 years of it, right? And then you have the Hearts and everything like that. Now you have people saying like, they're only in, you get this with Charlotte, though. Charlotte gets such crap for it.
Yeah.
She's only there because she's Ric Flair's daughter. I don't hear that with Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You don't.
I don't hear people saying, that there was a time when people said, he's only doing that because he's The Rock's like cousin or something like that. I heard that the first time around. But I hear it against Charlotte Flair, who's a heel. Most of the time she's been a heel in WWE. And I hear it from a lot of fans, specifically the women. You see this. There is a cattiness. There is a malice I've seen from wrestling fandom towards her that is wildly, wildly unchecked.
Yeah.
And wildly filled with BS. And borders sometimes on like really misogynistic stuff, which is just really hateful. And there's no basis in it. It's just, she has a spot that I want my person. And it's just like, it's wrestling, it's wrestling. And you're getting into this parasocial BS, and it's just awful. And she's gotten heat that I don't think is regarded this. I'll say this. She is the best in-ring women's performer of all time. She's the women's Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah.
She can have those matches. You talk about it. Every great WWE women's match, the evolution of it, I will say this. It would be an evolution. That one that the Bellas wanted and Total Divas, and they got a TV show, but they weren't getting TV time, right? And then it was give the women a chance, and it was the women's evolution, right? That happens. Stephanie McMahon's at the table. That really happens. Yeah. Women's sports happens. Ronda Rousey was a big reason it happened. They saw the success in UFC, and they saw, all right, we got to tap into this and grow our portfolio. And it really, really helped, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't move without Charlotte.
I agree.
It doesn't move with this connection to where wrestling has been and where wrestling can go. She's the pivotal person there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And also, she's an incredible athlete, had all the physical skills. She probably had some physical skills coming into wrestling that not even her father had. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Came into wrestling a fairly hurt person by losing her brother, who didn't get to have a wrestling career, and she kind of just started wrestling because that's what her brother wanted to do. So now she's going to try it, and she was fantastic at it before she even got great at it.
Yeah.
And I don't think she gets enough respect for her accomplishment and where she brought everyone else with her at the same time. She was right there at the lead. I will say another mean thing. This may piss. There's no Sasha Banks. There's no Bayley. There's no Becky Lynch without Charlotte Flair. And there's no Charlotte Flair without them, So I kind of think she doesn't get, the same type of respect that she does. Charlotte should start at the bottom and not be thrown in the title picture right away. But we know she'll get a title shot right away. Well, guess what, Thomas? Because she deserves it. And if you get mad about it, it's because you care. Stop acting like you caring about wrestling and then getting you mad at a character isn't the goddamn point.
Right.
Stop acting like you know more than the people booking the show. We're just reacting to it.
Yeah.
But it is, you should start at the bottom and do this to get to the she had to start from zero by being Ric Flair's daughter.
Yeah.
Think about that. No shot at David Flair. It was very, very hard on David Flair. He didn't have the career maybe he wanted, right?
Yeah.
And he had to be Ric Flair's kid. So does she.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason she gets to skip the line, because she's Charlotte Flair.
I'll ask you this, Kevin. Do you think that compared to all the other legacy wrestlers in the industry, do you think she's the greatest? Do you think that she's...
I mean, you got to think she's up there with Randy Orton. You know?
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, the biggest is The Rock,
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. But for the women, definitely.
You're talking about people that have the name,
Yes.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
His dad was a huge star and stuff like that too. It's hard.
She's up there, though.
Really, because you have this built-in expectation for who you are before you even have a match.
And I think she's handled it great. And like you said, she has the athletic ability out of this world. To me, it's a no-brainer. She is.
Well, that leads into our next story, though, too. We're talking about Charlotte.
Let's do it.
Her return is expected imminently. And Charlotte is expected to come back to the WWE, according to WrestleVotes, maybe even this weekend, possibly with Raw and Netflix. I would say, you and I were talking about this. It's like, don't do it at the Royal Rumble. Everyone gets the Royal Rumble. Someone else is going to do the return at the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Right? And you can do some other things there. You have a lot of other real estate in terms of like pivotal content coming up. Saturday Night's Main Event will run down the card here within the show, and we'll get your predictions. I want your predictions on screen for who's going to win what. I have a surprising one, and I don't mind giving wrong predictions now.
Yeah,
it's another thing. It's like people are like, your predictions age like milk for Survivor Series. I was like, yeah, I'm okay with that.
We're just having fun over here, guys.
We're having fun, man. If I'm right, great. If I'm not, it's still really good. I don't care. It's not saying like it doesn't matter, but it's just maybe it matters more. Go ahead. If you guys are with us on Facebook, by the way, tag your wrestling friends in there. Hit the like button. The reactions really matter. I know it sounds stupid, but it is something we need to do. But Charlotte Flair coming back now. You do this Saturday Night's Main Event. You hold this off until January with Netflix. What do you think?
I think it's a good time. I mean, they got to have some big... I feel like a return's going to happen here. And what better return than to have Charlotte Flair? I think, like you mentioned, the Royal Rumble. I think we're going to get Alexa Bliss there if we're talking the women's division.
You also have that final Raw on USA Network. I think they're gonna do something significant there as well too.
Yeah. So this is gonna be, a big month and a half. From here on out, we're gonna get a lot of good television from WWE because, like you said, they want to go out with a bang on the USA Network. Netflix is coming up, and then the first Saturday Night Main Event in a long, long time. They're gonna want all of these to have an impacting moment, and so they need one this Saturday. Charlotte Flair would be great. I think, that last, you just mentioned that last USA show for Raw, that would be a good one as well. She's done great for the network. They probably love her. Send him off with a good little goodbye and have Charlotte Flair come back. But either one, it's happening before Royal Rumble for sure.
You think it's happened before Royal Rumble as well?
Yes. And I hope it happens Saturday night. I would love to see that, especially, maybe come out at the end of the Intercontinental title match, kind of look down at the ring. Maybe that's what she's going to go for. I don't know. Or the U.S. Championship, not the Intercontinental title. Sorry.
Well, let's get into that. Saturday Night's Main Event. We have a great, epic history of Saturday Night's Main Event recap of why Saturday Night's Main Event on NBC in the 1980s is an event that is as important, if not maybe more, than WrestleMania. And I kind of break down why that is. I have numbers to prove it. And that video is up now. Go watch that. 11,000 of you checking it out within the first day. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's blow that up a little bit. We also got a lot of great response to when you and I were on Survivor Series Saturday.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe we do something on Saturday.
Hey, yeah. I mean, yeah, we could do that.
It'd be a late notice. It'd be a late notice now, but I mean, maybe we do something on Saturday. If not, we do one. We got to do some special stuff before Raw on Netflix or something.
Yes.
So
yes, definitely.
So epic history of WWE Saturday Night's Main Event is up on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel. Go check that out. Very good deep dive into the history of this special event that was like a quarterly television special. And it's kind of how it's going to be arranged in this deal. This will be the first of 5 of these. This is a part of WWE's most recent television agreement with Monday Night Raw going to Netflix. They made a new deal for WWE SmackDown. That deal with NBC Universal would keep SmackDown on USA Network on Friday nights and would add these TV specials as kind of a make good. Like, hey, we know we're moving a bunch of things internationally to Netflix and nationally to Netflix, but we're going to stay with Peacock through 2025 with major streaming events and our back catalog there. And here we're going to do these major network TV shows with you through 2025. And WWE's not turning these into, soft things. We're getting Cody versus Kevin Owens, built-up match. This is, I think, more anticipation for this one than the first one they had. And that is for the WWE Championship. As we teased in the thumbnail, they did a social media video where Triple H reveals something special for one night only. And they want all the old school vibes to remind you of all the old school Saturday Night's Main events from the 80s. Jesse the Body Ventura will be there off the grid. That's right, Uniondale, New York. Oh yeah, what about it, McMahon? All that stuff. He's going to be there. That'll be exciting. But I think what they were teasing in the case, reportedly, has a lot of people thinking is the glow illuminated Cody's face is something he's been wanting since he won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 40. And that is the classic Winged Eagle WWE Championship, worn prominently by Hulk Hogan through most of his heyday in the WWE. This would be also a title that Bret Hart won as well. That specific WWE Championship, wear it for one night. Yeah. It's kind of a fun thing.
It's fun. It's fun.
That's the rumor and expectation that we can't confirm. That's exactly what it is.
And it's only going to be for this night. He can't carry it afterwards, correct? Is that what the speculation is? It's the one night only deal. Yeah, not going to bring it back for good. I like the winged eagle belt. As a kid, I had the plastic replica, not the nice new ones that they got now that you pay $500 for or whatever. But one of my favorite belts growing up, and I would love to see it back in action today. Bring it out. Let Cody wear it. It'll be fun.
So let's get into the card here. This is, I believe, a 2-hour show they're going to do. So a little bit of a tighter window for what WWE is going to be. This will be available for people on Peacock, by the way. So you're not just isolated to what is going on, as a TV product. But this is certainly an exciting show. And there is some major things expected for this. Specifically, Cody versus Kevin Owens here. Do we get a title change?
Ooh, this would be a way to get people talking about Saturday Night Main Event. Is you change the title right here, right now. Get people to watch the next one too. Be like, oh man, they're gonna
do another one between the beginning of January when Raw goes to Netflix and the Royal Rumble. We'll have another one, and that's going to be in San Antonio. I think that's January 14th, just about a month from now.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to get a new champion for the women's division in the United States Championship match. But I would say if we're going to get a title change, I don't think Cody drops the belt, but I think maybe Finn Balor will come away with the championship over. I know
Gunther.
I know that he's dominant, he's powerful, but it's a triple threat match. He doesn't need to get pinned to lose the title here. So
absolutely, of course, the World Heavyweight Championship will see Gunther defend against Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Now, you mentioned it. It is a world title scenario, a triple threat match. That happens, right? You can lose the title in that scenario. Do you want to cool off Gunther now? You know, with the streak he's been on, they're getting him red hot for WrestleMania. I think he's the guy. Our very own Bill Apter, though, and you can check out. By the way, subscribe to the email if you guys get our email newsletter. You get Bill Apter's insights on everything in wrestling, and he has some weekly scoops. It's kind of like a news magazine vibe to it. It's all in one chunky email. Subscribe to that through sportskeeda.com. You'll get the updates every week. And Bill Apter got some inside scoop on it, and he said a WWE source spoke to him and said Gunther versus Finn did not have the heat we felt it should. Adding Priest to the match makes it much more compelling match for our return to network TV on NBC Saturday night's main event. So, there was some changes here, and we were going to get Gunther versus Finn. That would have been a heel versus heel scenario, and a run-in would have been kind of expected, right?
Yeah.
To have a babyface element to it. So I don't mind that. It is a bit of a challenge to pull off a triple threat, I think, on live TV with limited time. You can pull off triple threats easier, I think, on pay-per-view because you can, have more time for the entrances and all these different things. That's another thing. This is a TV show. They're going to have a tighter window for time. Yeah.
Very, very true. Very, very true.
I think Gunther. I think Gunther leaves. I think Cody's in more trouble than him.
Do you think they'll take off? You think they would do it? Have Cody lose his belt?
If Cody loses the belt and can somehow get it back before WrestleMania,
yeah,
that works.
He's gonna lose the Winged Eagle belt, the one night only. He's gonna lose it.
I mean, I don't think the people say transitional champion, right?
Yeah,
or you're like a stopgap champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Cody losing it and winning it back would be interesting.
It would be interesting.
The boo Cody crowd is so minimal. When you go to the live shows, people love him. So like that crowd is strictly online and strictly dudes and definitely outside of the United States. like just my perspective, because the kids still come and the kids still love Cody, right? So
yeah,
and if you're booing it, you've just become old enough to not like the guy at the top. Women's World Championship, Liv Morgan will take on Io Sky. That was certainly teased at the end of Monday Night Raw, and Rhea Ripley planting Raquel Rodriguez, the muscle for Liv Morgan through a table. So maybe that will neutralize, Liv Morgan and kind of having the side piece to help her win matches against Io, and maybe Rhea Ripley cost her the championship. I kind of think that happens. The Women's United States Championship will be determined here with Chelsea Green taking on. Did they determine who won that first? The match between Tiffany Stratton and Meechin? Has that already been set?
I don't think it's been set yet.
Well, we kind of have some spoiler roonies about that, by the way, on sportskeeda.com. I'm not going to tell you what happens there, but maybe that is an entrance point for some situations there for Miss Charlotte Flair to re-enter. I'm rooting for the person that is reportedly set to potentially win that, but I'm not going to give a spoiler away on that. And you get to see a first-time champion crowned, so that's special, Right. You're trying to give a TV audience something there too. This is a big grudge match they're kind of putting together. Drew McIntyre's been laying out Sami Zayn week after week, and McIntyre had a rough 2024, the feud of the year, WWE called it, and I would put it in the running for that as well, between him and CM Punk.
Oh yeah,
Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Drew McIntyre's winning this match.
I think so. You got to make Drew.
He's gonna wreck Sami. And Sammy's going to play the vulnerable baby face who just doesn't know how to quit. And he's going to get decimated. And this is going to make Drew McIntyre look ruthless and mean and dangerous once more.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think they got big plans for Drew McIntyre moving forward. They just gave him a big deal earlier in the year. Mm-hmm. And, he had a great feud with CM Punk.
You got to rev him back up.
Yep, got to rev him back up. Yeah, he just lost the feud, but you want to make him look strong again. So, Sami Zayn, fan favorite, have him come out just like he said, destroy him, make him look very strong, and like he could win a championship again. Yeah, need to make Drew a beast once again.
Asking for those Saturday night's main event predictions. Terrell Diggs saying Charlotte Flair returns. Yeah, there's a distinct possibility of that. Reportedly, there's a possibility of that, Terrell. Thank you for the support over the years, Terrell. I always appreciate it. Joshua, I think some way Randy is going to appear and screw KO and is going to end up costing Cody the title, leading to a future triple threat match. Hell of a prediction there. Of course, Randy Orton was used as a character to kind of get this whole storyline over between Cody and Kevin Owens, make it personal with the pile driver, a banned maneuver, and giving him that pile driver that put him on the shelf. And Randy Orton comes back, and Randy Orton said that his intentions are to become world champion once again.
Very true.
That would be interesting.
That's a good take. I like that. I think that's definitely a possibility right there.
You know? And if Kevin Owens finds a way to outsmart all of them, I love the promo with Kevin Owens in the car this week. Did you see it?
Yes.
Where he demanded, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to go out there. You have to come to me.
You have to come to me.
You have to come to me in my car, my car." And he's like, when I look in the mirror, all I see is a handsome face that's absolutely right about everything. It was awesome. No, we're doing his promo in the car. Michael Cole annoyed. He's like so frustrated that he has to go to someone's car and do an interview with them inside the car. It was. I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good, resentful Kevin Owens stuff.
Yes, I'm loving the Kevin Owens heel angle here again. He's good.
But this is an interesting one to reintroduce Randy Orton to the mix and have him do it in a big way. Too many returns, one show, though. I don't think you can do too many returns on one show. But it's NBC, it's network television. It's a special show. You want to almost make it feel like a premium live event. It is a premium live event. You're gonna have this on Peacock. So I'm down for that, Joshua. Not a bad take on that at all. Yeah. Not a bad take at all. Comment of the day. Can someone beat that? Anthony Snyder says Roman versus Solo for the Ula Fala Saturday night's main event.
That'd be a big one.
Have they done Roman versus Solo one-on-one? They haven't done that one-on-one.
No, not the one-on-one deal. Maybe
that's the Netflix show.
That would be big. Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Netflix show. They're also planning on doing CM Punk and Seth Rollins on the Netflix Raw debut.
And what Netflix? They're not going to really have a time limit. I mean, it's going to be around 3 hours, is what they decided, right? But
loosey goosey.
But the first one, they could do whatever they want. They could have it, So it's it
could be a 4-hour show if they wanted it to be.
Yep.
If you want to do Roman versus Solo, there, I think you want to seal that up before you set Roman for some different business in WrestleMania season.
Be good.
That's the way you do it.
Yep.
All right, here we go. I'll take this. Okay. Cody is boring. Liv is mid. Going into this Netflix deal, having these two as champion is laughable. Amaris, your comment is mid. And your comment is also boring, repeat, copy-paste things from other people who are still real butthurt about what happened to Woman. But what about Woman? You got to keep Woman strong. Isn't Woman strong? Yes. Yes, he is strong. Just because he doesn't have a belt doesn't mean he's not interesting, doesn't mean he's not the top guy. He had the belt too long. You need to work with the championships, so the championships are something special. Roman, I'll give you this, because I think this is from the anti-Cody crowd are all just Roman, all praise Roman. We hated him 4 or 5 years ago and demanded his head, but now we all praise everything that comes out of him. And look at him walk to the ring, and then walk to the ring, and then walk to the ring. And then I'm not saying Roman isn't great, but I'm just like, what's going to happen when he becomes The Rock, guys? You're not going to love him the same way.
It's true. Yeah.
Cody's not boring. I don't think Cody's boring. Could he be a little bit more compelling? Sure.
There's a Wayne...
But also, go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you.
Oh, you're good. You're good. We just have another comment. Wayne said Cody is...
He's a fighting champion.
He's there.
He's a fighting champion. What a concept. To have a champion who's on TV every week and doesn't have his entire family interfering in every match. We had that for years. It was fun. It ran its course. We got something different.
Yeah.
Cody's a fighting champion. All right, let's have a match. Come on, let's do it. No. We have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks to do this. And then have everyone who's my cousin who can do a super kick get involved.
Oh man,
He doesn't have I heard somebody say this. He doesn't have a pose. He doesn't have a pose I can do. Someone told me that.
Oh my!
He doesn't have a pose. I was like, you don't have a pose.
So
you don't have an argument. Is that your argument?
You have to have a pose if you're the champion.
Is that your argument? Yeah. Terrell Diggs, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair returns. Yeah, Becky Lynch is, I think, set for something with that Netflix turn.
Oh yeah,
maybe like week 2. I wouldn't have her week 1. I would have her like week 2 and make it interesting. It's a Randy Orton return there. So all those different things here. I want to hear from more people. Lynn, has been with me for years. Something big happening at Saturday night to get the focus on the next one.
Oh yeah, gotta be.
Yeah, yep. I agree. I think they're gonna. I could see something with Roman as well on Saturday night. Maybe present some type of angle or announce that big match. I could see them announce on Saturday Night. By the way, Roman Reigns going to be on this. Or they announce the match for the next Saturday Night's main event too. They could do that too.
Yeah.
See that. David Roca says Kevin Owens will win the WWE Championship at Saturday Night's main event. I'm for it too.
Yeah,
I'm for it. And Kevin Owens having it and like being like, I told you. Cody Rhodes is boring. That is a fact. No, it isn't. No one makes this like where is it? Where does it show? Where is the correlation between this? Between the tickets not selling or something like that? Where is that? Where does that connect the boring thing? Where is it? Because I'm not seeing it, guys. I'm not seeing it. And I'm not saying he's God's gift to wrestling. I'm just saying he's a different champion. You had this other champion for years. You need something different. You're getting something different. This will matter in retrospect. I will also say this. Roman Reigns never needs to win a world title again. It would be a detriment to WWE and his career if he did, because he would not be able to run with it for 4.5 years again.
Right. Yeah, that title reign is not happening again for him. And everybody who's
Michael's second stage doesn't need the title again.
Right.
Personal issues are bigger now, and Cody is a guy who does and needs to chase the title. I think if he lost the title and chased the title into WrestleMania, that'd be cool too.
Yeah, definitely. Cool too. It's funny that
he's boring. It's so outlandishly stupid. He's just not. He's a different wrestler than that doesn't play one big note. He's not doing AC/DC come out and do this specific thing. He's doing Rush. It's more progressive. He can find other ways around these different things. He gives you reasons why he fights, not reasons why I'm not going to fight, then I'm fighting. And it's like, there's not anything convoluted about him. And weirdly, people have gotten into the idea of convoluted characters. Roman, oddly, is convoluted, but it works. It works. It just works because he's that charismatic. They're both good.
It's really funny that these people are calling Cody and Liv mid. But if you look at the numbers in merch sales, aren't they the top two? Like Cody's for the men and Liv is for the women. Like they're the top merch sales.
No, WWE. You're also just marks for another wrestler. Yeah. They got the edge over them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Come on, that's what it is. Like I can call it what it is. Aside from Rock and Roman, who is Cody's best feud with? His best feud besides those two is with KO over 6 months later. That's mid. That's dead wrong because what happened at SummerSlam? You got that business. Oh, well, it was Roman coming out at the end. Everyone knew that. Well, they didn't know that. They didn't advertise that. Boldface long. Also, did you guys not see the match he had with Gunther? That was an incredible match.
Great, yeah.
It was that match. I thought the build to it wasn't as strong, but the match itself was banger stuff. You know what I mean? Like really, really strong stuff. And now you're telling me it's with Kevin Owens. And how many feuds did Roman Reigns have that were just like, we're waiting until he gets the next big one, so he's gonna have this one. Like when he had Claudio. Like Cesaro. He's gonna have this just right after WrestleMania wins the title, get to the next one, and what I mean. And they were good. The matches ended up being really good, but the build to him was it was all right. Here was this to get to that, to get to this, to get to this. He's a different champion. I think that's just part of it. Cody doesn't even wrestle. He doesn't even defend on the people. What kind of champ is that? He's on the TV all the time. Roman's not on the TV all the time. He's still a fighting champ. He's more of a fighting champ. He's more of a present champion. He's not an elusive champion. And he doesn't even wrestle weekly. He wrestles on those shows. Doesn't mean he's not on the TV. Okay, just because he's not on the TV doesn't mean he's not wrestling on the shows. He's on live events. Roman hasn't worked live events outside of like one or two of them in years. Okay, so there we go.
Yeah,
here we go. We were complaining when Brock was never there. We complained when Roman was never there. Now we're complaining about how Cody's always there. Right. What do we want? Thank you. Thank you, Johan. You kind of made my point. Here we go. Anthony Snyder. Roman versus Cody for the WWE Championship next year on Netflix.
Okay.
That'd be a wild one.
That would be wild.
That'd be wild. I mean, if they went with that, oh boy, if they went with that on the debut episode. Ooh,
yeah. That'd be crazy.
Oh boy.
That'd be out of the left field for sure.
So,
but
yeah.
I would like it.
Absolutely here. Love hearing from you guys. I love getting into it with you guys too. I don't mind it. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
This is fun, you guys.
Fun little banter back and forth.
Yeah. And this is silly. Read that one.
Damon, my Sacktown friend here, says Cody joining the Elite, then using them to propel his non-WWE career before going back there is one of the greatest long-term stories ever.
I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but I can take it for the fun of what it is.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun comment. That would definitely be some long-term storytelling right there.
Yeah. Use them. It was a long con. It was a long con to get there, buddy. I love that. If you guys got more questions about what's going on with WWE, we'll jump into them before we sign off here. Want to remind people as well, Sportskeeda Wrestling Backstage Pass is available on Patreon. Well worth it. You can get the free trial, get a free week of it. Wrestle votes, a lot of scoops on there. JBL and Briscoe saying, what were they thinking? Now, we do a free version of you getting Monday Night Raw reviewed by Vince Russo, but we have him doing SmackDown as well with the Bro Down, the Coach and the Bro Show as well, available with him and Jonathan Coachman on our Patreon. All of that on our Patreon, and the breaking news as well with Wrestle Votes. So go get it. Wrestle Votes Radio with it. We also have a Wrestle Votes Q&A for free over on the Wrestle Binge channel. I know some people check us out. Wow. Wayne, you really don't like people. Here we go. We'll go back to you. Liv is the weakest females champ in the history of WWE. Next to Alexa Bliss, her title run shouldn't even be this long.
Cry about it.
It's almost like you're mad that she's the champion.
200 days.
And you would like someone to defeat her for the championship. Right?
Sounds like they got you, Wayne.
Sounds like, Wayne, it's nice that you're typing these comments. I think it would be hard for you to say them with the hook in your mouth, okay? So calm down, brother. Calm down, all right? I know your name says Wayne on the screen, but it may as well be Mark, all right? Because they got you. Got you, buddy.
That's they're doing their job.
Here we go. No perturbed, just giving my opinion. Lol. I know, Wayne. Wayne, I'm just giving my opinion and being loud and probably aggravating my roommates. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm living on a Friday. I'm mad out here. Joshua Santiago, he's the one who gave us those great fantasy booking scenarios with Randy Orton. Here we go. You want to? Should I read it dramatically? Do you want me to read it dramatically?
I love these. Yes.
The last scene of the night, Randy enters the ring with both men down. He goes to the corner to hit a KO with the punt kick. KO gets out of the way. The last second, Randy Orton hits a Cody. It's Cody with the RKO. KO stuns Randy and pins Cody to win the title. That's the big sour finish we need. Ooh. Joshua, give you the book, buddy. Give you the book. Give you the pencil.
That could happen, and that'd be good.
Psycho Killer asking about this one. What do you think about drafts? I heard about a transfer window that's being talked about.
Yeah.
Which here's the thing. I'm over the WWE draft.
Me too.
As a show, because it's just like it'll shift some people. I guess it's a bigger deal now because Netflix is going to be one show on a different network, and SmackDown is going to be on USA Network, and it's going to be a different presentation.
Yeah.
And we're going to get that 3-hour SmackDown for a good chunk of 2025. I know some people may not be looking forward to that on Friday nights. I'll be watching on Saturday mornings, brother. We'll be telling you that. So I'm of the thought that I think a transfer window is a better way to go. Just announce some changes over a couple of weeks and have matches. To me, the draft should be something you do on YouTube and treat it like a big deal. Make it like a fun side piece event. But the idea of a match, and then this guy doesn't even matter. That guy is going over to the next. I'm over that idea. It's a played out idea. It's not as effective and as consequential as you want it to be every single time. Feels like diminishing returns when you watch it on live TV. I think a different presentation with it would be more exciting and fresher and lend itself to diehard fans just kind of just putting fun rosters together. I don't know. It doesn't have, am I wrong? The WWE draft as a concept doesn't pull me as it used to.
Yeah, not like it used to. When it first started, I was excited and everything. I'm a huge sports fan as well, and I love drafts. I love to dive deep into mock drafts and all that stuff, but the WWE draft just doesn't do it for me. It's not like it used to. And the transfer portal would be cool though, because then you can move people back and forth, keep people there.
And also you can move people up from NXT.
Yes. So, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, WWE ID. What if you want to get crazy and just be like, hey, we're going to take Freedom Ramsey from Michigan, and he's going to be on my Raw.
Yeah.
I do something crazy. That would I would love to see some crazy stuff like that. And also, do you want to do that right before the Royal Rumble? Do you do it after the Rumble? When do you do it? So it's already a really, really confusing time with the Netflix debut. SmackDown's going to expand and have to feel fresh and not get lost in the mix.
Yeah.
And with all these big returns and different stuff, the women's returns are going to be different. Alexa Bliss is expected back. Becky Lynch is expected back. Charlotte Flair is expected back. Those are significant names. They're going to change things. All right. So who goes down? Who goes up? What's happening with NXT? Where are names going to land there? Are we going to pull anyone up from there? Who else could return? That's another thing. We're talking that this whole New Day storyline. That's built around Big E returning, right?
Yeah.
That's the or at least that's the expectation, right?
Yep.
So it's a lot there.
There's a lot
there, and I also think a draft just kind of makes it more confusing. If you just did some soft transfers on TV, it'd be fine.
And
rate your way out of it. Tell me Roman Reigns is on Raw. Okay.
Yeah. It's and I think not having the draft, not setting a wrestler to a specific brand too. I think that we're going to start to see that a little bit more. We've seen. It happens every year at the Survivor Series because they have to have these teams and whatnot. But we've seen even after and before that wrestlers switching brands and showing up and doing that. And I'm kind of hoping that we get that moving forward to where it's not, okay, I'm just set on Raw, I'm just set on SmackDown. Yeah, that's my main one. I'm going to be here mostly, but I'm going to be here too. I don't think there needs to be, I'm just a Raw wrestler, I'm just a SmackDown wrestler. I think they could just do everything now. Just go. Yeah,
Peralta, John Cena for the Hall of Fame. John Cena will have his final in-ring year with WWE in 2025. They're already promoting some of his dates as his final time in a specific market. He'll be on the WWE Elimination Chamber in February, and it has been marketed as John Cena's final match in Toronto, or final performance for WWE in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Him in the Hall of Fame this year. What do you think? Is that too much with the whole thing? Is that just a fun way to make him a part of the final year of his career? Because you're going to do a Hall of Fame then, WrestleMania week with him. And then it's worth noting the way this is being marketed, and it's being marketed he's going to be marketed through the entire calendar year of 2025. Right. So his final match will be in December of 2025 or around then. That's the expectation. This will be his last WrestleMania this year, but it will not be his final match, which I think is good because you can get kind of a different hit each time. One's going to feel special every time you do something with it. Yeah. And he's not going to wrestle a lot. I think he's going to appear a lot. I don't think he'll have a handful of singles matches. and some feel-good tag team matches and stuff like that too. And he'll be in the, he's going to be, I think he's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So it'll be I don't know if he has to do the Hall of Fame this year though. What do you think?
I don't think so.
They could do it. It wouldn't feel wrong. It wouldn't feel wrong to do that this year.
I just think
they put in Rey Mysterio and he stayed around.
That's very true. That's very, very true. So I guess that counters my point. But I was gonna say, I think that he wants to enjoy this whole year wrestling, and he's gonna come back and have his induction be a huge thing. I know that it would work with his last year. It would be great, but there's gonna be so much going on. He wants to maybe have a title run and all this, have it focused on that.
But also, if you don't put him, who's like the big name? Because like every year you're not having as many big names to put. You don't have a big name every year to put in.
That's true, and I mean, John Cena would be a massive name, and to do it, give him his flowers while he's still wrestling, everything. Yeah, that's a really cool thing to do. I loved it when they did it with Rey, but I also think that bringing him back to do it will be a huge event as well. And I think, and you know what, John Cena is going to have the choice. If he wants to get in this year, they're going to put him in. It's going to be up to John Cena. I think that, it's going to be on his terms.
Yeah. If he wants to say yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
if he says no, and then somebody else has to go in who's like on the roster, you know what I mean? John says no, and then they're like, Randy, you're
yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Because Randy's a Hall of Famer. He's irrefutably a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll be like, oh, I didn't want to do it this year. I want to do it next year.
Yeah.
Someone's arguing about when they go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, it could work. I just think that Cena comes back and has, a huge event for it.
Damon Schust. Big E was so good with the emotional reaction to Kofi and Xavier ghosting him. I almost shed a tear. That's how great of a segment it was. One of the best singles WWE's done in ring in a long, long time. I loved it.
Yeah.
But my immediate expectation is, are they going to get him in the ring?
That's what I think.
Is he? I want to see. God damn, if he comes out at the Royal Rumble and whoops that ass. Yeah. You know what I mean? If he comes out and it's like, you want to go big? Boom, the pop, dude. Right? But I'm also like, use the word medically cleared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they use these words. Like they don't bring up things unless they know they can go back to it and play that footage again. Right? Because there's so much of what they were talking about. They're playing on things that already happened to build to something that could happen. Right? And it was very real. Everything else was very real. Hey, you have a broken neck. Okay. Stone Cold had a broken neck. He came back.
Right, dude. It was, yeah.
I had a ripped Achilles. I came back from a ripped Achilles just to be at ringside for you. You couldn't, you won't get a surgery. They're going off on him about how he's handling it. And it's
like, back behind your desk.
Oh, go back behind. Oh, you care more about your new girlfriend. You like this for a girl.
It was a good angle. I hope Big E comes back.
Andrade with a comment here. I don't think she'll have to start from the bottom. I guess he's talking about Charlotte Flair and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Jennifer Andrade. I don't think she should have to start from the bottom either. She's Charlotte Flair. She's earned the right to kind of pop right into the top. Yeah. So I love those questions here. Other things going on in the world of wrestling. We haven't talked about All Elite Wrestling. They, of course, are putting things together here for World's End at the end of December. We're going to get Adam Cole versus MJF finally, guys. Again, we're getting that rematch. Took them so goddamn long to get back to this thing. They've gone heel and babyface, and they've swerved back to heel babyface since they had the first match. And they've had so much time. God, the injuries are the major reason why. Right. And for both of them, as to why you didn't get a payoff, but we're finally going to get it, and it'll be for MJF's diamond ring, his dynamite diamond ring. And Adam Cole was able to get past Kyle O'Reilly to win that, right? That'll be at the World's End pay-per-view. I wonder if that'll be the main event. More likely, it'll be the fatal four-way match that Jon Moxley, the heel champion, put himself in.
Yeah. Yes.
Logic? Where is it?
Not there.
Not there. No. He's the heel champion who put himself in a fatal four-way match and called for that. So weird scenario. That's coming together. Johansson, I saw a lot of people making fun of the all-in rally. Yeah, that was unnecessary. Bringing this up. The all Texas all-in show is coming up in July 12th. That'll be at Globe Life Stadium, home of the Texas Rangers. This is going to be a huge show for them, and the hopes is they can draw tens of thousands of people to it. Their first major All Elite Wrestling Stadium show in the United States. They've had two successfully in the UK. They were trying to do one in Australia, but they've moved that to an arena recently. So they're trying to do some things. God bless them for trying to do stuff, but they have a lot of people on the shelf who aren't there. They have a lot of storylines that aren't dialed in. So hopefully things come together here. Wrestling Pars with another comment here. I want to keep rolling with this one. WWE should do John Cena versus Punk versus Rollins World Heavyweight Title WrestleMania main event night 1.
That'd be a banger of a match, but I don't know. You got to, who's going to have the title there?
Mm-hmm.
How do they get the title? Probably John Cena, maybe, right? I don't know. Well, because if he wins the Rumble, he's going to have to wrestle for it at WrestleMania. If he's going to have to win the Elimination Chamber, I don't know. How do you get to this match for the World Heavyweight Championship right here? Like who's dethroning Gunther here for that?
I think Gunther versus John Cena at WrestleMania would be wild. I think if
great.
Gunther's the guy who can do record versus title type thing, and it'll be, that would be an interesting thing. Gunther versus Cena at WrestleMania is a really special match.
Yes, that would be
But
great.
They also talked about a Gunther Goldberg match.
That's right. Yeah,
that's on the table. It's already been teased. That's been teased. Gunther Goldberg would be interesting. Who Cena gets at WrestleMania is going to be interesting. Really interesting.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a massive match, though. They got to build
I don't want to see a tag match. I want a one-on-one, and he can do the tag match stuff, other things, other scenarios, and different stuff you can get him into. There's some stuff you need to see from the past. There's some new matches you haven't seen before that you need to see. So we did a video breaking this down a little while ago, and some people said it's got to be Drew that gets to end his career, which I think would be great. But just a lot of expectations with it.
Yeah. Going to keep us guessing.
He's got to do something with Punk before the end of the year. Him and Punk, him and Orton.
Yep.
Maybe him and Cody. Yeah. So I also think do you want to see him break the streak and break the world title record?
I do. I think it'd be a good moment. I think it'd be great. Even if he doesn't hold it for a month, even I don't care. Just get the belt. Just do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
They got to make you. He hasn't won a match in a long time, by the way.
Yeah, that's very true. I know. I can't believe we saw him at WrestleMania lose to Austin Theory, which was crazy. I did see him. Let's see, who did he beat when he beat Dominic Mysterio at the SmackDown I was at in Sacramento a year or two ago? So I saw that.
Was it a dark match?
It was. I think it was on TV. This was but I have the video on my phone. All that it could.
All right, I got to get to this question here. This is a question about what has gone viral on wrestling circles and very popular in the internet wrestling fandom. Very popular amongst independent wrestling fans and very politically incorrect characters, I think, in some ways. One of them definitely politically incorrect, the other one not. To be clear about that. There's been this trend on independent wrestling of having your own version of Kane and having a costume that looks just like Kane, but making your own. There was a blue Kane, and he got sued and he couldn't be blue Kane anymore. And he's the guy who just looked like Kane. And they dressed him up, and they called him Blue Kane, so it was blue and black, and he had like the old school Kane costume on with a mask, to be clear. So you're doing that no face, but you sell the whole body type thing. Then they've introduced Gain, who is an LGBT inviting character in Rainbow, and gets pops from the crowd. And then, of course, the very questionable cocaine.
Yes.
Now, the thing about cocaine, very complicated concept here, is he plays off of the drug. I'm not endorsing drugs. Drugs are awful and bad for you, but they are a part of our adult lives. We have to be aware of them. Mm-hmm. And cocaine uses a substance while performing in the ring. Have you seen clips have you seen this, Nick?
Yes, I have, and it is outrageous. It's absurd. It's
throwing powder up in the air. Throwing powder up in the air.
I laughed. Don't get me wrong. I laughed when I
saw. He's crossing the line
I'd say so.
and also taking that line up the nose. It's not. It's you know what I mean.
Yes.
I walked you into that one, didn't I? I walked you into that one.
Yeah. Yes, you did. But
I put my arm around your shoulders. Come over here. Let me just slam your head on the turnbuckle. That's what I did.
You got me, eh?
Yeah, I got you. I've seen another spot where he put it on the turnbuckle and was trying to shove another opponent's head into it,
Oh my
which
goodness.
I think is bad. Why would you give them the power up?
Yeah,
You know,
don't
why would you
wanna-
give them?
yeah.
And then his head got, and then he started to just keep slamming his head. All right.
Crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
What do I think of? Are you asking me specifically Wadil? I think it's a ridiculous gimmick to get a short-term pop.
Yeah.
And a lot of independent wrestling now is not meant for people under the age of 18. And this is kind of clear of that. You can kind of present these characters that are certainly more adult we'll start those adult conversations amongst adults. And I'll leave it at that because I want to be very, very specific and not have our video get shadow banned today because we're talking about these things. Because that happens, you know?
Yeah, it's
so.
Yeah,
wild.
It's wild. That's my opinion on it. Is how many? We don't need any more Canes. How about that?
No, there's gonna be more Canes.
There's gonna be more. I know. We don't need any more, but there's gonna be more.
It's all right.
It's funny. It's funny.
Insert thing here into that blah 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 Kane. You know, like it'll be that. So, Caesar prediction is Penta. Yeah, so Penta is being very talked about. He's out of his All Elite Wrestling deal. Will be Carmelo's mystery opponent on tomorrow night's SmackDown. That has been advertised. It'll have some type of surprise opponent. That would be a wild way for him to debut. Quite the person to debut with. Carmelo Hayes is a living highlight reel. A guy who could really do some wild things. I think a guy who's going to be a champion in the future for WWE. But if he gets fed to Pentagon Jr., that'll be an interesting way of going. Of course, Pentagon, his brother is Ray Phoenix, who's gotten a lot of attention this week for confirming some reports from our very own Dr. Chris Featherstone, or at least referencing them as valid, about him not being very, very happy with his All Elite Wrestling status, that there's injury time rolled over on his deal, and there's debated and mixed reports, by the way, not just from our Chris Featherstone, but other people outside of the Sportskeeda Circle that have reported on basically that All Elite Wrestling was upset that the Lucha Brothers were going to be able to get out of their deals. Or at least we're trying to get out of their deals or want out of their deals, or just we're looking out the window to end the deal, or when the deal was done, that they would go to WWE. And that would have been within this time frame where we are now. But injury time was added to Ray's deal that he's already suffered. So he's already suffered the injury.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's injured currently. And he already suffered this injury, went through a process which was described as inhumane. I don't know how that would be determined. Now, I've also heard there's just issues about what doctor you get and who pays for what doctor and these different things. And I'm just like, that doesn't look good.
Doesn't
look good.
Not a good look at all.
Now, what I understand from WWE and people I know that have been injured there, you get injured, you're under contract with us. You get injured in our ring. You go to the doctor we give you. We tell you who that doctor is. We tell you how that goes. They prescribe what they do, and we pay for it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's done. So that happens when you're under contract with them. Now, when you're under contract with AEW, you get injured, you find your own doctor. That process is different. And that doctor does this and approves this, and then you give us an expense and we referral it, and Seems like there could be some issues there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's what he's referencing. And then there's other people that could just frame the idea of you putting me on the shelf because I want to go somewhere else is inhumane too. So it'll be very, very understanding, but basically that report saying they're going to put everything out there. Pentagon showing up before his brother, though, in WWE would be interesting.
Would be.
But, this means Ray Phoenix won't be able to get out of AEW until like the summer. And then are they going to try and do a non-compete or something like that, or try and add more time to it, or, put this thing, But then there's other people that debate, all right, I'll let you go. After WrestleMania, I'll let you go.
Oh, man.
And AEW did that before. They did it with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy wanted another company. All right, you guys have done enough with me here. I know you're not going to use I know what's going to happen with us. And so I get it. One more before we sign off. I wanted to get out of here a few minutes ago, but that's okay. Dom Lyon, Do you think Logan Paul actually retired, or is it a work? What do you think, Nick?
I think it's a
Don't
work.
be impulsive. Don't be impulsive. Think about it.
I mean, he's a dad, bro. That's what he said.
He's a dad. He's
bro.
29 years old.
Yeah,
He's a dad. Still looks like $1 million, but he's a dad.
I think he's coming back.
You know, he can still grate cheese on his abs.
I mean, for now, we haven't seen him in a little bit, but I think he comes back. I don't think he's done. I think we'll see him at WrestleMania.
He comes out. I mean, I know they've had him do the Royal Rumble before, but if he comes out at the Royal Rumble, that'd be wild.
Yeah, that's where I think that'd be a good spot to have him come back.
Yep.
I think it's a work. To answer your question, Dom. I don't know though.
I just had an insane idea.
Yes.
And I feel if I put it out into the universe, it could happen. And I don't know if I want it to happen. But the reactions to it be real. John Cena needs a huge match at WrestleMania. He needs a match that would get people talking about him in a way that would make you think of how special he could be. How the people that grew up watching him are of a generation. And the people that have added to wrestling or have come to wrestling are maybe younger and view John Cena as this guy from the past. You know, Roman Reigns is our guy. Cody Rhodes is our guy. If you're 15 or 16 now. John Cena, he's like our Hulk Hogan. You know, I liked him when I was like 6 or 7 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But then there's people in their 20s and 30s and 40s who love themselves from John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Generational battles.
Oh, yeah.
Gen X, Millennials versus Gen Z. Logan Paul versus John Cena, WrestleMania.
Oh, man. I like that.
And Logan Paul will do business. He will leap around. He will do whatever he needs to do. He's a guy who's proven himself in a big match scenario. If it's set up the right way and paced and the spots are called to him, he can, do some fun things.
Oh, yeah.
And as a featured performer, I question him as a person,
Yes.
Business practices aside, this guy knows how to eat up the camera and sell, and he knows how to be a gnarly heel that you don't like while smiling like a complete, veneer capped tooth jackass,
Yes.
But John Cena is our fighting champion. He's going to show you what for, you dirty son of a bitch. Come in here and disrespect my business.
Yes.
I'll put you up on my shoulders and fireman carry you on your flat ass.
Yes. I love it. That'd be a huge pop.
John Cena versus Logan Paul. That's a WrestleMania match.
It is.
That would be a great way. It would also get people mad. You're wasting a John Cena match on Logan Paul. You're wasting John Cena's last WrestleMania match on Logan effing Paul? Right? How mad would people get, right?
I'd be irate, but it'd get the people talking. They'd watch the match.
Come on. I'm going to clip this.
Yes.
Logan Paul, John Cena, WrestleMania. Am I crazy? Yes. Yes, I am crazy. But if this happens, someone's buying me a Mountain Dew Zero when I run into them in person. Okay? Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Very busy with Q101 this week. Q101, Chicago's alternative rock radio station, our 4-night residency, the Aragon Ballroom. We're doing some wild stuff. We're doing something special with Bush. Yes, that's going to be really, really cool. So look out for that. Some news about that at Q101.com. We have Smashing Pumpkins tonight.
Wow.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Yes. Twisted. The shows are Twisted Christmas. These are really, really fun. So I'll post some videos and different stuff about that. I just had the 4-night Odd Thruple comedy tour where I had a throat infection while I was doing the tour.
No.
That didn't stop me from drinking. That didn't stop me from drinking and doing shows. It was a lot of hot tea before the show and then regret it in the morning, that type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I had a great time. If you want to check out my comedy, please go to my Instagram. That's at KevKellum6. at KevKellum6. I want to do a comedy album special in 2025 or some grand show. If it's not a special, I want to do something that is specific to my act. Nice. And I want to gain followers to make that more possible with venues to do it, to the point where I can maybe even take it on the road around specific wrestling shows. So look up for that. What do you got going on, bud?
I've been a busy man with and work and all that, recording some new tunes for my band Two Piece.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Yeah, you can follow us on all the socials at Two Piece Music. That's TWOPEACE, like peace, not the bikini, but yeah, Two Piece. You can check us out, or you can follow me personally on the X or Twitter and Instagram at Nick_Harkson, and then on Blue Sky at Nick Harkson. You'll find it. Just search Nick Harkson. It's the, Nick Harkson.Blue Sky, whatever it all is. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the Twitter under the same name, Kev Kellum, on Blue Sky and all that good stuff. Nice. Follow Sportskeeda as well. We're on the different things. New video up, by the way, on the channel. The epic history of WWE's Saturday Night's Main Event is up right now. You can check out Nick in his shorts. He just dropped a whole bunch of new shorties. So look out for those on Sportskeeda Wrestling's YouTube channel. We've gone over an hour. Did you enjoy the show? Did you listened or watched the entire thing? Look at you, you little sweetie pie. Thank you so much.
We love you.
Thank you so much. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Share the link with your friends. Shout out to Andrade Jennifer, who's with us. Shout out to Wadil. I can see some people who are checking out the show from overseas in South Africa, some people checking in from Asia, people checking in from India. Shout out to the boys as well at Sportskeeda, where we're talking about India as well. All the boys helping us out, Sandeep and Ankit, and all the guys who are helping us out in the channel. And remember, when watching wrestling, please do the most important thing, which is what, young Nicholas?
Enjoy wrestling.
Mm-hmm.